Alright, so, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah, episode 12.
That's right, and you get only me and Grepo today, boys.
Little insider pod this go.
That's right, that's right.
Talk about some
So,
developmental esports stuff here and there. Yeah, we could jump in. I think one of the first topics, we can jump into any of the topics going on right now. We have Silent Hill Ascension, I guess, which is the Silent Hill 2 remake. That,
is that what that is? Okay, I haven't heard of it
Yeah.
before, so.
I mean, Silent Hill used to make me shit my pants, so that's one of the reasons why I put it in at first. And I thought if they're going to make it a remake, I think it's on the Unreal 5 engine as well. Which,
I mean, looking at the trailer, it looks pretty damn good, so.
Yeah, it looks like something that'd scare my pants off, that's for sure. But for me, it was just the way that they remade it looks really nice, like even more creepy.
I don't have much experience with Silent Hill. Wasn't that like a PlayStation exclusive for the longest time?
Yeah,
Is that right?
it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're more Xbox player or something like that, you can see. I saw my dad playing it, and he like threw down the remote, and he was like, "Fuck this shit." He's like, "You can play." I thought that
Fuck
was
this
funny.
shit, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to watch him play the Resident Evil games, you know, so he thought Silent Hill would be fun. But yeah, it's just a little notch higher in the gory, scary type jump scare stuff.
That's for sure. That's kind of what Silent Hill was. That and okay, I just saw a monster on the trailer there that looked like it was a vagina. So that was that's good. That's always good, I guess.
It's like, do I kill it? Do I not kill it? I don't know.
What the hell was that?
I'm a little torn.
I just
No, but
fucking popped on there for a second. I'm like, oh, it's a vagina monster. Exciting stuff.
I guess one of the things that I want to jump into is Valve and their AI generated games. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, no idea.
Like a lot of the game developers now have been coming out with these new AI games. There's this one game that was really popular on. I'd have to find exactly what the game was called. It was kind of just like a run around, literally like a running simulator type of game. And recently got taken down, and then like Twitch didn't even want them streaming it anymore, so they took that down because these developers are AI generating games, but they're taking content from like other games or like scripts or whatever from certain games, and then they're claiming it as their own, right, to create games. So I think it's off of the other engine. There's the Unreal Engine, and then there's the what's the other engine?
Unity.
Unity, yeah, I think it was heavily based on things that were built off of the Unity engine, and then they kind of just were like taking the reins from them. So now they're putting into place. Steam is putting into place specifically that they're taking off AI games from their Steam library, which
I mean that's not surprising.
They did put like a statement out saying that they're not, they don't hate all AI games. It's just the only thing is they don't want like to have those copyright issues, right? Then after it's gonna fall on them because they're the ones that are reselling the games, yada yada. So, I mean, it would be a cool idea, I guess, in a way, which would be quicker. I don't know if it would be better in like gameplay wise or something like that, but definitely generating like different maps or something like that in a game could be kind of cool if that could get to that point. But I mean,
I think AI still has to grow quite a bit for that type of shit, though. I don't think it's there quite yet. That's for sure.
Well, they're already generating some kind of maps or some kind of games, but I think it's mostly like kind of sandboxy Minecraft type stuff. Probably not like.
Yeah, and I mean when I looked at that, it said it was talking about more of the art that was using AI art.
Oh, okay. So like textures and things of that.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's what that looked like.
That's a part of the engine, right? So like Source SDK, You know, they've had their own engine for like a long time, where like people create maps and stuff. But like, I
Yeah,
guess you're allowed
yeah.
to use all those textures. But imagine like you have like a whole engine, like the Unreal Engine. You can just take any textures, anything from them.
I'd say the problem with that though is that you take all those textures. Like if you're building like a map for a game, that's not yours. Essentially you're building that, and then it's the property of the game you're building the map for.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a difference between doing that and then doing a full fledged game based on AI.
I guess I think that what they said in their statement is that they're not pushing away from it. They just want people to like fix up their legal issues or whatever before they can continue with it. Because I know I forget the name of the game, but it was a quite large game that was streamed. It was literally just like a running simulator going through like little obstacles and stuff, but people was actually catching on. But so you know,
Yeah, yeah. I
if
mean,
the devs don't do their homework, then so be it, right?
yeah. I mean, that's unfortunately at this day and age, that's part of it. Is AI can do a lot of shit.
I want to
Well,
talk. I want to talk about another game which has some gameplay there, the Payday 3.
oh my
Um,
god,
but
that just looks
I wanted,
exactly like Payday 2 for one.
exactly. I wanted to show it just for the fact that I was looking in the comments, and I was looking at people talking about Payday 3, and actually people were excited for this game. People actually really like the mechanics and everything of it. I feel like it's. I mean, I don't see a difference. I mean, I don't see anything crazy, jaw dropping. The cars look so stiff and like AI like. Uh,
I mean, but the problem is they don't really have to do anything too insane with this type of game. It's like a because it's supposed to be a robbing, a bank simulator essentially, but they've gone all actiony with it too. So it's like,
Yeah, I'm not understand like I'm trying to grasp onto the excitement on this game. Is it because like it's a game that you could play like as a squad of friends or something? But I feel like I played the first one and the second one, and I felt like it was the very like same. It was the same thing. I mean, I guess just like a different bank. I don't really like the graphics. You know, for like if I was to compare Payday 2 and Payday 3, there's no real big difference in it. So. Um,
yeah, no, I agree. I don't think they've ever made giant strides in,
do you know
especially
who's the game
graphics.
developer of this game? Of Payday?
Um,
The
oh, what the hell are their names?
Overkill Software and
Yeah,
Starbreeze.
okay.
Their publisher is Deep Silver. It is on
Yeah,
the
so
Unreal 5 though engine, but
yeah,
for
I
some
mean that's
reason
probably the biggest difference is that they went at the Unreal 5 engine.
I just don't understand why the um I guess the like as we just talked about with like the AI thing or whatever. Well, they have that use their own textures, right, or something like that for this game. Is that why it looks not as
That's probably because they
nice?
wanted to get a new game out.
Because like even the water, like you can see right now, like there's a fire in the game or whatever, and there's water on the ground, and the water just looked like this gray puddle. That
Yeah, I
even
mean it's probably because they just need to get a new game out. To be honest with you, because they're still going off the hype that Payday 2. Because even now, Payday 2 still has a rather decent player base from what I've heard. So it was like, okay, we need to keep momentum going.
oh, that's actually kind of cool. You could blow a hole through the floor and go through it. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
But I mean, I feel like a large percentage of gamers these days, especially, are kind of moving away from the has to look so pretty because we could see how BattleBit took
I,
off.
I don't understand that. I love games that look good.
Yeah,
I
it's
love games that look good.
This funny thing is, me and my bro too completely completely different people. Like he comes from the COD scene, I come from the Counter Strike scene, so like I don't really give a shit about graphics, more like just fun gameplay. And him, he goes like, well, if there's no nice graphics and it's not pretty, well, it's not worth playing. Like he wants to be
I
immersed completely in it.
I would say I'm
So,
not that bad, but I'd much rather have a game that looked good and
yeah, because
didn't.
I understand you get immersed a little bit more into it
Yeah,
and stuff like that as
and
well.
I mean
But
that's the big thing with bringing it back to last week's conversation. That's the big thing with Starfield.
yeah,
People are pissed that on console it's running at 30 FPS, but it's damn pretty.
yeah, if the game runs properly, I
And
mean,
it's a giant game. I mean, so it's like I'd
have you had any updates on Starfield recently? Actually,
no, there hasn't been much of anything going on from what I know.
I know that everybody's talking about how it's one of the most anticipated games. So,
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not gonna get out of that. It's still gonna be one of the most anticipated games.
oh, the game's size was released though. It's gonna be a whopping 125 gigs.
That's not surprising at all.
But that's
That's
not big,
not surprising
actually.
at all.
It's not. To be honest, I thought it would have been bigger. I mean, look at Battlefield. I think a Battlefield at one point I was almost like installing. It's like 150 gigs. Call of Duty Cold War, the most recent one with all their updates, was almost 200 gigs on my PC. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like GTA, all that. So yeah, 125 is actually a pretty nice number, especially if you're on console. It's not too big, I would say.
I mean, for people that have like the Series S or whatever, it's going to take up most of their console space. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
I think that was the big thing is the series.
Do they still offer 500 gigs for storage, or it's like it has to be 1
Uh,
terabyte?
it's 500. Part of the um whatever their event was a couple weeks ago. They
Okay.
revealed that they have a 1 terabyte option for the Series S coming. I believe it's
Okay.
in pre-order, but
But fuck, 1 terabyte, man. Like you're
yeah,
already kind of behind.
yeah, no,
You need at
that's the
least I
thing.
don't know, like
Yeah,
2 terabytes or something.
I say I have the Series X, so it has 1 terabyte, and then I got one of those cartridges that you put in the one of the back of your Xbox, and it adds another 500, 800, 1 terabyte, something like that. So
Oh, yeah, that's the one of the news sites saying that yeah, it's a massive. They feel like it's massive. It's 125 gigs, which is your small 512 gigabyte storage. Yeah, on the Series S. Jeez. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
is
do
there
the
do they offer like storages that you could buy separately? To
correct. They do.
okay, yeah, all right. So that's no problem then.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Um, but yeah,
One of the things that really surprised me was um, they announced that their campaign length will be a minimum from of 30 to 40 hours of gameplay for Starfield, which I mean that's just incredible. Like a lot of hours, man.
yeah, I mean,
And that's just like the campaign, right? It's gonna be an open world game as well.
yeah, yeah. That's
So you gotta
I
think
mean, the
about how
thing
much
that
work they
saves
put in.
them is it's not multiplayer, so they don't have to bring in all the extra networking mumbo jumbo you usually have to bring in when you're doing multiplayer stuff.
And they're saying that this is gonna be the best FPS game Bethesda's ever come out with. Just saying a lot, right? Because I mean, there's some creators that have made like Doom, um, what do you call it? Quake, I think, right? Am I right? Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah. But that's
Yeah.
most people differentiate them though.
What about like Fallout 4 and stuff?
Well,
Fallout makes people
yeah,
like
none of the
Fallout 4.
games that most people would say are Bethesda games ever have had really good gun gameplay, especially.
Yeah.
The difference between that and this
I mean, Quake was pretty fun. I
is
gotta say, I mean, Quake was.
that's once again that's they differentiate those studios. They don't consider id really Bethesda. It's under the
Okay.
umbrella, but it's its own. It's a whole different ball game,
Okay.
and that's why people are excited. Is because Bethesda brought in some of the people from id to come help with their gun gameplay in this. So that's
Yeah.
why the gun gameplay actually looks halfway decent. Is because they brought it in, who are masters of of first person shooters, especially.
What games that have they worked on? Do you
Id,
know? Yeah.
Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein.
Okay, all the ones that I actually think are like
Correct,
decent. Yeah. Okay.
correct. They did Rage,
All right.
Rage and
Cool.
Rage 2. Those are their two most recents, I think. There's rumors that Quake is getting remastered, or Quake 2 is getting remastered.
Yeah, I like Quake. I mean, Quake Live for a long time. I played that. If we can get something like that going again, that'd be dope. But anyways, the main thing that I'm looking forward to these days is pretty much Starfield. There's a few other games here and there that I'm curious about, but I mean, I'll be honest. If this game is not as exciting as we thought, it would be a big disappointment. Cause yeah,
I got a bunch of games I'm looking forward to. It's just I don't think most of them are going to be out in the till at least next year.
well, there is some good Unreal 5 games that we've talked about here that have been super good. But you know, do we even know if they're going to be coming out as when? You know, a year, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
Um, that like that one game there where you're a cop with the camera on your chest or whatever. There, I forget what it's called.
Oh,
Ultra realistic,
unrecord or whatever.
unrecorded. Yeah, you know, like we don't even know when something like that will be released. So, but I'm happy to be seeing all these different games and all the Unreal 5 gameplay that there is. Um, like another one that we could jump into, I think, is Arc 2, um, which is one of our topics. But I think this one's going to be just a remake of the Arc game, so different textures and stuff, but on the Unreal Engine. So I guess a lot of these developers are going through learning how to use this Unreal 5 engine, I guess, and they're revamping their games, which, um, be honest, doesn't look massively different, but I'm sure the mechanics wise in the game and stuff like that, it changes a lot.
Oh, I didn't even look at this one. Let's see what we got here. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I know a lot of people are really excited for it. So, I actually one thing that's funny that happened recently that Asmongold had covered. One of the game developers had gotten, I guess he got ganked by like 90 people on one of his servers. They just started like bombarding him and trying to take his base. And the game dev like banned him or globally banned 90 people because they were taking over his base or something. Which, yeah, it doesn't look very good on the game. If
Is,
you're gonna,
isn't that part of the game? Aren't you allowed to take people's
yeah,
bases?
yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay, I've never played this game, so I don't know what it is. To be honest with
I
you,
guess he just got frustrated because he had worked so much or something like that for it.
it looks like it's Rust with dinosaurs.
Yeah, basically. But the Arc graphics were a lot worse beforehand. So, uh, very, very cartoony and stuff like that. So, to see this on the Unreal 5 engine,
It does
you
look
know,
pretty good. I can agree with that.
it looks very pretty. So,
Yeah, I mean,
and
I
then
don't.
afterwards, we haven't even gotten like a view at any of the dinosaurs as well. So, yeah, see how creepy that is and what the gore is like and stuff.
I mean, I overly don't think Rust was a very good looking game either. So
Ark, I feel like is a real fun game to just spend some time with your friends and just I feel like Rust is a game where it's cool. The only thing is like getting raided. Spending my whole night to build a base of my buddies to then we have lives, right? So you wound up like coming back like 2 days later to play in the game, and like you've been raided. You know, it's like not even raided like a day later. Like they raid you like a couple hours later and take everything that you worked for. The thing that was cool about Ark for me was that it had the Rust feel where I could build my own base and yada yada, but I wasn't competing against other players. You could when you're playing, of course, you could play versus other players and take over their bases and stuff, which can make it fun. But I just rather like the
I was gonna
just
say,
hunt versus
can't you
dinosaurs, you know?
just isn't this one that you can make? You can either purchase or make your own server.
Yeah, exactly. So you can wind up doing PvP or non-PvP, which would just be like, just killing dinosaurs and whatnot and venturing around
Yeah, yeah, I
instead
got
of
you.
just like fighting other people, which is what I preferred more, which is just venturing around and seeing all the different places in the world and all the different dinosaurs and whatnot. Because the game is already hard enough as it is, just like trying to tame things and trying to build your own base and whatnot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. I know Ark is on Game Pass, if I remember right.
Yep. So, if this is something that could come to Game Pass and they can, remake it on the Unreal 5 engine and stuff, I feel like this is something that's will definitely grip on. I know a few of my friends that have already spent many, many hours on this. Myself, um, I've spent a lot of hours on that game as well. Just the fact that, it's kind of like a Minecraft sandboxy feel. So, yeah, I look forward to that. I think Unreal 5 engine is really making even games that have already been out, just updating and remastering games. It's cool. I mean, I wish that some people would actually start making games from scratch, but as we talked about in the past, the price that it costs to make these games, and afterwards, when they do the price points, like you've been saying, at like $70 or $60, well, we go, whoa, what the fuck?
I was
Why
gonna
is this
say
so
people
expensive?
get pissed, and it's like
Yeah,
you can't have it that just that one way. You have to have it both ways, or else you're no longer going to get games because they can't afford. No one's gonna be able to afford to make games anymore.
and coming back to BattleBit and like the payday thing and everything like that, it makes sense that they put a little bit less time on like, making the game look super pretty and everything and just create just content for the game so the gamers could just stay happy. And it seems like the gamers are staying happy in that way where they're just getting the content, but at least this game is throwing in the graphics feel too, the whole different remastered feel is nice. I just feel like in the past like 2-3 years, this became like a wave of just like remastered games over remastered games. As like I think two or three games on the list already have been remastered games coming from Silent Hill. I think Silent Hill's pretty cool just for the fact that they're adding some different content to it, and also with the Unreal 5 engine, just gonna make like the blood and the dark. I feel like the lighting effects is gonna be really cool. Is what I mean for like Unreal 5. I think they do it like super well. When you could see in that unrecorded video there how like the light reflects off the water and all that and stuff. I think they have a good chance in making it really special. So, or make you shit your pants. And then after that, when I think about the Unreal 5 engine, I think about like imagine a day where we can get VR Unreal 5 game. That would be really crazy. High-end graphics like that would be insane. You'd actually feel like you're actually immersed in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Another game that I don't know if you had heard about. It's called Off the Grid.
Never heard of
Um,
it.
so Off the Grid cinema is set stories from the universe of the off. Uh, it's kind of like a cyberpunk battle royale type game that's coming out.
Let's say this don't look cyberpunk. That's for damn sure. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what it says. Cyberpunk battle royale being developed by Gunzilla Games. Feature part one unfolds amid a corporate
Gun
world of dystopian
Gunzilla.
fiction. And there's different factions that fight each other.
God, those faces look awful.
They're beautiful, man. What are you talking about? They look so realistic. I don't know. I saw the game. I thought it was kind of a pretty game, but yeah, the faces do look a little odd. Uh, One of the main reasons why the faces, I'm sure, kind of look odd is uh, also these people are like half robot, or like their head is only robot, or their head is only human, and the rest of their body is robotic. I think, if I'm not mistaken, something of that
Is
sort.
that what this is? Okay, I see.
Or are they half robotic? I don't have no idea. But I mean, I thought it was unique, something different. So, uh, you see this guy has a shield here. So I'm guessing they're gonna try to make it some kind of Warzone-ish battle royale type
No,
thing.
yeah, I mean that's definitely the play.
And then afterwards, being part robot, I guess you're gonna have certain abilities as a robot. It's pretty cool. So you can see something that's like a little bit more stealth there. And then yeah, that guy with the shield. You have vehicles everywhere as well. I think it's gonna be based on like certain kind of convoys. I think that's what it said. Convoy missions or something. So,
Oh,
oof.
dude got blown to hell up.
Yeah.
So it's just a CGI trailer, though. It looks like.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I'm not seeing any actual gameplay as of right now.
well, right now I think the game is, still
Is it still pretty early on in development? Maybe.
in. Yeah, exactly. So they're just trying to give you the concept of what they're trying to go for.
I see. Well, it looks kind of interesting. I can say that.
I find it a little odd that like this guy at this point gets shot and he's hurt. I mean, is he a robot? Is he not a robot? I'm a little torn. I have no idea. I guess. Oh, okay. So no, if you lose limbs, I guess they just replace your limbs with robotic limbs or something of that sort. I have absolutely.
Interesting.
But
You know, it looks interesting. I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to another battle royale, which, I mean, a lot of you could be a fan of battle royale or not. I mean, I'm just in between both. I feel like I had a lot of fun when battle royales came out, when like the PUBG, the Fortnite, and everything at first, and then now it's kind of just became a thing that like when another battle royale comes out, you're like, damn, we already have so many battle royales to play. I mean, I don't think we're really missing out on any, but if they could bring something unique to the table, then that could be cool. But I'll be honest, these days I've been looking into a lot of like the horror games and whatnot. I think that could be kind of cool. More like single player games, even campaign games. Um, as we just talked about, Starfield's gonna have 40 hours of fucking campaign, so I'm sure it's gonna be a lot more. And then I'm sure they're gonna have cutscenes and all that. So uh, it's gonna be pretty crazy. And then afterwards, there's the next game that I've been waiting for a little bit, which obviously is an MMO, so not everybody would be interested in it, but um, would be the game Ashes of Creation, which I think
I've heard of it.
which they're in their second. I think they're in their second pre-alpha. So they're still pretty early on. I started like following them when they started building the game at first, and they were getting a GoFundMe to get their things going, and they're going pretty smooth. They've had a few gameplay trailers and stuff like that recently. Or the graphics are looking good, the lore of the game's looking nice. They just like where they're gonna go with all the ideas that they have, because they've thrown like a lot of different ideas at the community where they're like, we're gonna do some battlegrounds, we're gonna do like a thing where it's like factions like or realms against each other. Their main thing is doing like 3 realms against each other and doing like a PvE, but at the same time you can PvP with people, so you can go kill mobs and stuff, but at the same time you can get ganked by other people or whatnot and make it kind of like a competitive type of MMO, which is interesting. I mean, it's a lot of work making any of these games, like we've talked about in the past. So I don't know what their price points are going to be. I know recently they had talked about how they're going to make the game, a monthly subscription and whatnot. People were kind of upset with it, but like you got to think a game like WoW where they've had like an infinite of content and they keep coming out with patches constantly is because they have a solid community base that's paying a monthly subscription and is helping, you know, make the game a little bit better. The same thing we have to understand too is when a game just comes out, we can't judge it too much because we got to give it time before it can develop, right, and become and flourish into like an actual game that's worth playing. We've seen it as we just talked about Rust, how like when if you look at the graphics when Rust came out at first, and then they had like revamped their game completely. I remember I had not played Rust for years. I don't remember how long it was, like at least 3, 4 years at one point. And just out of curiosity, I re-downloaded the game and I started playing again, and I realized how much they worked on the game and how much like the game was not even the same game at all. It was just completely different. I like that in a positive way, you know. I like seeing like more games working towards things like that. We're building the game slowly but surely, even though community members and community people are, how do we say it, like very picky and opinionated.
That's a nice way to say it. Well
Uh,
done.
yeah. So, I mean, for certain games, I understand. You know, when it comes down to like the Call of Duty franchise or something and the way they do things. I mean, when you're at the 20th Call of Duty and you have so much experience, like 20 years of experience, you should start being able to get things right, I feel. Um, but I mean, other people, the diehard fans, will make excuses for them and whatnot as well. So, um, I'd be happy not to see another Call of Duty come around, but I'm sure they probably already have one in the works as of right now.
I think it got leaked during the whole Xbox um, court
Oh, you should
case that there's one coming in November.
really.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna call it and stuff. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Modern
I
Warfare 3.
could be.
Let's ruin all the legacy of our games. Like, just let's go back. Let's remake a Call of Duty 1 and completely destroy it. Like that's just I don't really understand the whole point of the Modern Warfare 2 thing was like such a marketing ploy to get people to buy the game again.
Well,
Because
yeah.
we all had all the old heads, we all had that nostalgia of like, oh my god, that was our childhood, that's so good. And then we convinced the younger audience to be like, oh my god, this game is going to be amazing, I've heard so much about it. And then it's nothing like the original game, other than, I guess there's riot shields, and I don't even know if there's throwing knives, but yeah, there you go. I mean,
I did just see that apparently, even though Ubisoft has the game Skull and Bones coming out, they are
yeah.
remaking Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I had heard that Ubisoft was talking about how they already have 11 Assassin's Creed games in like ready, like they already have the ideas for the 11 next Assassin's Creed games. I don't know how many Assassin's Creed games there is. I was one of the original game testers for the first Assassin's Creed that ever came out. Ubisoft paid me $100 to show up to their place, their little office and whatever, and game test it. Um, I never thought that I would be seeing that many Assassin's Creed afterwards. I have no. I'm just gonna look it up right now. How many Assassin?
I think they're on 11 or 12 now, I think.
There's 12 main games, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they have 11 other games lined up to be made. Um, I mean, once you've gone through the assassin, through the pirate, through the Viking, through the magician, through the Spartan, I mean, I don't really know what else you're gonna go do, like Independence Day. I don't. I have no idea. I'm lost on like what they're gonna do with their ideas. If they have 11 other ideas, I mean,
Well, there's all kinds of places they could go with it, though. That's the thing.
yeah. I mean, it's just the thing is, are people gonna get like bored of that? or are people satisfied with that? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's the Call of Duty effect, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
guess.
isn't that essentially what this is? It's the
It's
Call of
like
Duty
you're like
effect.
scared on missing it because you've already played the other iterations of the game, so you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, if I don't play this one, I'm gonna miss out on the content and the storyline and whatever of this one. And but I've never really got immersed that much into Assassin's Creed games. In the first few, I did, um, and then afterwards, it just became something where I would buy the game. It's pretty. It'd be nice, looking around and stuff at the game. Some of the mechanics would be a little bit different, but most of the time it came down to very similar. So, um, I mean, like we were talking about the last time, everybody has their own type of game. Some people like shooters, race games, whatever. You like preferably, games that you can do like campaigns or storylines. And some people just rather, games that don't have the best graphics, but more, I guess, content-wise, or more content for a game that they've already played a lot. I was just very surprised to see, like, on the Payday game, how many people were hyped for the game when I didn't really see a massive difference. I feel like sometimes it's really hard to satisfy people, and it feels like some other times it's very easy to satisfy people.
And it's a slippery slope, is what it is. Especially with, uh, you're never gonna fully satisfy anyone. That's the problem.
Yeah, as we just looked at it, we were like, yeah, you know,
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
much the same thing. You just changed the bank around. I mean, or the little location where you were at. I mean, at that point, you're like, I think the biggest thing for them was just bringing it to the Unreal 5 engine, and then maybe as we talked about, maybe they're gonna do some updates, different iterations to make it better, or they might just keep it the same, which I feel like they might do. But um, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Can't be bashing it yet. So
oh
could be better. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, if I were them, I would just keep it the same. That saves them money.
Well, especially right now with everyone and finances and everything like that, it's pretty tough. So
Yeah,
I mean, here in Canada, we find it tough. I'm sure in the States,
I just, it's
the
yep.
same thing. So
It is. It's tough.
and we got just our government spending money left and right, like
Shit, you ain't kidding.
both the Canadian and the American government are just working together to fuck us up.
Yeah, it is.
It's very
It.
interesting.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Um,
That's once again where greed comes along, man.
yep.
Fucking greed. We probably shouldn't go off on a tangent of government, huh?
Yeah, no, probably not.
Oh,
But I mean, we've been chatting here for what, 40, 45 minutes here, something
we
like that.
have.
I mean, we've gone through a couple topics. I think that's fine. I really like this type of podcast. I mean, just laid back, chill, talk about a few things that are going on in the week. Yeah, it was nice. So, thanks everybody for watching. Happy 4th of July once again.
That's
And,
right.
yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. I think we're going to be having Aaron and Rekka on the pod again. So,
There we go.
catch you guys then.
There we go. All
Good,
right.
everybody.